Welcome back. Throughout our show this Sunday, we've told you about the stony coral tissue loss disease and how it has ravaged coral reefs off the coast of Florida. In our third and final part of this series, our Samantha Jo Roth tells us about what funding and resources are needed to bring positive change and how lawmakers are working together to make it happen.
The coral that grows along Florida's coast is under assault from disease. And this group of researchers from Nova Southeastern University are the first line of defense.
That's enough motivation to keep you going for all hours.
Michelle Dobler is the newest addition to this small team, working to treat as many patients as quickly as possible.
We can make our tanks last between 1.5 to 2 hours. My team does way better on that. They go about 2 hours or longer. I'm about 1.5 hours, but we come right back on the boat, grab a little bit of water, and we hop back in.
While the antibiotic treatments have been effective, there's a lot of territory to cover.
I think our big limitation right now is manpower. Having 4 people treating the entirety of the Florida Keys is kind of ludicrous. And so just having the money and the people to come out and be able to go to more sites and to treat more corals is really, I think, the only way that we're going to be able to have any impact on a lot of these reefs in the short term.
The Florida Department of Environmental Protection hired this group to treat coral infected by the disease. This project had a budget of a little over $341,000 this fiscal year. Since this method is so new, there's a lot of uncertainty about future funding.
Every year we have to get refunded, and right up until about the week before, we're not sure if we're going to have a job again the next year to keep doing this. So having a little more stable funding and maybe even a little bit more might be helpful.
The federal government provided over $26 million to restore coral reefs across the country. Of that, nearly $3.5 million went directly to the state of Florida. The state chipped in as well, bringing the total to $5 million to support various projects like this one. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle recognize that's not nearly enough.
It's absolutely critical that we get this reauthorization and millions of federal dollars down to help out Florida.
Representative Darren Soto and Senator Marco Rubio are working to revive the Coral Reef Conservation Act, which expired 20 years ago. Their legislation would provide $160 million of federal funding for the next 5 years. Whether these bills will make it to the floor for a vote in either chamber is an open question.
It's not really an issue that we've struggled to find support for. It's more been an issue of getting things passed, anything passed up here. For example, the funding as part of a funding bill that right now is tied up in broader issues that have nothing to do with coral reefs.
The federal government needs to be a partner. I mean, we all, nationwide, we all enjoy Florida. Last year we had 126 million tourists that come to Florida, and so we've got all have to be part of, protecting what we have.
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, too, is working with public and private partners to raise $100 million to combat the crisis in the Florida Keys. But they have not met that fundraising goal just yet. This is one of the last living reefs off the coast of Florida, a reality that is now reaching the surface.
We need money, we need bodies, we need regulatory approval, we need to do all of these things quickly. This is a disease epidemic, and every minute we waste is a minute that it's just getting that much worse.